Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me. I sure appreciate it and appreciate you. It's almost March. It's almost a new month, which means new palette rotation, and this might quite possibly be my favorite rotation of the year. Why is it my favorite rotation of the year, you may ask? Let me tell you. I love green. And when I think of March, I think of green. I think of spring. It's warming up where I live. We're hitting 80s already, and it's not even March yet. But I think spring, and it just green is St. Patrick's Day. And also March is my birthday month, and green is my favorite color. So how could this not be my favorite rotation of the year? So what I've done here is I've pulled a bunch of palettes that have green or green tones in it that I intend on using for the month of March. So let's see what I've pulled. Okay, these are in no particular order, just the order I grabbed them in. I've got them in a stack from largest to smallest, so we're just going to go with the biggest one first so we can get it out of the way. And I know this is odd, but hear me out. It's the Profusion Jurassic Park collection. I know there are so many, like, whys about it. Here's the thing, this has some really great green tones, and I pulled this specifically for the green tones. It's gonna do its Jurassic Park theme, hang on. I'd be lying if I said I didn't love it though. Let's see if I can get it to stop. There we go. So I pulled it specifically, and I apologize. This cover does remove, but it takes away the shade names, and I love the shade names, so I don't want to lose this little cover. But I pulled it specifically for this shade right here and these guys right here. And I love that this yellow kind of accents, so I kind of like this as a little quad right here. But I pulled it specifically for this one and this one, just because this is such a gorgeous greenish blue, but it's just, I don't know, I'm so unbelievably attracted to this shade right here. I've got a nice dip in it. I'm kind of scared of using it all up, but it is what it is. So I pulled it specifically for that little quad right there and that one shimmer. Next up here, I pulled out the Nomad Okavango Safari palette. I mean, I love Nomad. Their palettes are so fun. But I pulled this one out because, well, dark green, this green, this green, that's a green, and then you've got these like mustardy browns that accent these greens so well. I mean, this dark green is going to accent my shirt really well. How could I not pull this one out for green month, right? This next one here is kind of a no-brainer if you've been on my channel for even like 1 second. But of course, the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. I mean, if the cover doesn't explain it, maybe this picture will. But this one carries a lot of green and like mustardy tones, which to me, those two go hand in hand perfectly. I think they create an exceptional color scheme, color story when they're paired together. So of course, this one definitely had to come out for this month. Another one of my favorites, and this is definitely on the more affordable side compared to what we've kind of seen already, but this is the Colourpop Fresh Greens palette. This one is so fun. I intend on taking this one with me on vacation because it is a Target exclusive, I believe. I don't think you can get it on this Colourpop website. Maybe you can, but I know I picked this up at Target. I see it at Target every time I go in. But this is the color story. This has every green that you could possibly need or want. And I love that they gave us some more, like, even though these have a green undertone, they are a little bit more neutral in my opinion. So if you want something just a little more neutral, you can get it from this column right here with your pops of greens. But I really like the variety that this one gave us. And it's really affordable. I think they're like $14 at Target. And another one of my top favorites, like I said, the green palettes, they tend to be my favorite, but this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau palette. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. This is a palette that I bought knowing I would like, but I didn't realize how much I would love it. And I really do. I think this is perfect for March, April-ish, because in my opinion, it has a really springy look to it. This pop of purple right here is really nice. These are really like kind of pastel-y colors in this area, but I've still got my greens, I've got my golds. This is a darker green. So I feel like this is just a really great spring palette. So more than likely I'll carry this one into April with me as well. March is mostly greens, and then April is where I wear my more springy colors. But I see this kind of sticking around for a while. And then some of my smaller palettes. This is another Natasha Denona. This is the Mini Gold palette. And as you can see here, you've got some green tones. You've got a green matte and you've got a greenish shimmer. And then you've got a gold shimmer. And then you've got a really nice neutral crease or blending shade. And then a darker outer corner. This one I believe is like a satin. I actually use it as a deepening shade because once I use it with a denser brush, it kind of eliminates the sheen that it has to it. But yeah, so this has just got some really, really great greens in it. And I cannot wait to dig into this one for this time of year. And last, but certainly not least of the green palettes, this one isn't necessarily green, it's mint. But I'm really drawn to it. I've seen it in my drawer for a couple of cycles now, and I think about it often, so I'm ready to pull it out for this month. I think it's been discontinued, but I actually find this palette quite often at Five Below. So if you have a Five Below in your area, you might be able to still snag this. But this is the Elf Mini Melt. Again, not necessarily a green, it's a mint, but I think you can call it a springy color, and I think that would work for this month. But again, it's just kind of calling my name. I feel like I really need to dig into this guy, so I'm gonna pull him out. I really like the neutrality of these shades right here, and then you've got, you know, a neutral shimmer or this pop here of the mint shade. And to accompany that, I have a couple of my single products, not necessarily powder eyeshadow products, but single products. This is the Elf Mini Melt No Budge eyeshadow stick. It kind of came as like a set here, or it was meant to be like included with each other in a sense. But I went ahead and picked this up a long time ago, and I did it for like an idea that I had for a Halloween costume, and then I just kind of really haven't used it since. So it's brand new. I really need to get some use out of it. So I think pairing it with this eyeshadow palette will do pretty well. It's pretty light, so I think it's pretty wearable. This is really, really creamy, so I think, you know, either by itself with some darker mattes or, you know, pairing it with this, I think we could get it to work. So with that kind of being said, I'm still short on a couple palettes. So again, I like to have between 8 and 10 in my rotation. This gave me, this I kind of compare as one. So this gave me my 7th palette. So I wanted to pull in a couple other palettes, and I wanted to grab palettes that I have not seen or touched or even really thought about a whole lot lately that I know I want to use now that I've acknowledged them. Does that make any sense? I digress. So I pulled in a couple neutral palettes. This one is the Profusion Nudes palette. You know, I used to get compliments every single time I wore this, and I just haven't really dived into it much recently. And I saw it when I was going through my drawer looking for neutrals. I was like, yeah, I think this needs to come out right now. So here is what she looks like. She's very, very neutral, but definitely a warm neutral. You can see a little bit of hard panning in the shimmer shades, but honestly, I don't see it affecting the pickup at all. The whole top row here is shimmer. This bottom row is matte. So it's got like a corresponding shimmer to match the matte. These palettes are incredible. They perform honestly as good as some of my other higher end palettes. And I think this is like $5 and some odd cents. And it's been a minute since I've had this. This is actually a repurchase. I hit pan in a couple of these shades and repurchased it before my collection got as large as it is now. So I do think I need to pull her out and use her some more. So she's going to join us in this rotation. And then I did pull in a couple more singles, if you will. This one's actually very similar to that Elf Mini Melt No Budge Shadow Stick. This is the Maybelline Color Tattoo Eye Stick in the shade I Am Giving. And here is what she looks like. And the cap is pretty close to what it actually is here. This is a more blue as compared to the Elf mint color. So this is a more truer mint color, where this is definitely more of like a turquoise blue. I think this is definitely more of like an April color for me, but I have it in this rotation if I want to use it. If I don't, I'll just kick it into April, but I kind of just like having that extra option there to play with. And this is another one of those same situations where I may not use it so much in March, but I'll definitely be pulling it more out in April. And that is the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in, I believe, Milk. So it's the solid white one. I like to put this under neon colors. So like under the powder version of this one, or like some of my more like vibrant colors. I like to use this as a base, or even like an inner corner, not an inner corner highlight, but like an inner corner pop, you know, because it's matte and it won't budge, because I have really watery eyes, so I really don't do inner corner highlights for that particular reason. But I think this paired with some pastels would look really, really pretty. Okay, short, sweet, and to the point for my March rotation. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you have some green palettes that I don't, drop them below. I will be honest with you, I am eyeing the Sigma On The Go palette in Earthy. I'm thinking I want to pick that up for traveling. I'm getting ready to go on vacation, and like, I went on a no-buy in February, so I'm just itching for something new. I know Nomad's coming. I know ABH is going to be coming. But I want something new like right now. So I may be picking that up, and if I do, that'll get added into this rotation. I'll probably take out one of my more neutral palettes and throw that in here. We will have to see. If you have that one, let me know if you love it, don't love it. I'm really curious. I normally love Sigma's formula, so I don't see it being a problem. But I'm curious to see what you guys have in your collection. Do you guys wear greens in March? Do you stay neutral? Or are you still in a wintry vibe? Let me know. I am definitely curious. Thank you so much for joining me. I sure appreciate you, and I will catch you on my next round. Later much.